All right, you've made it to Friday. Congratulations. We got a jam-packed show for you. We got funny videos. We got arena talk. We got rapid-fire questions. Plenty to send you into the weekend. Let's go.
You are Locked On Spurs, your daily San Antonio Spurs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hello and welcome back to Locked On Spurs. My name is Matthew Tynan. Thank you, as always, for making us your first listen every day. I know that you guys are making us your first listen today, even though it is in the evening on a Friday before you even get to us. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. It is join all the action at FanDuel.com to play daily dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a homer this MLB season. On today's show, Dylan Harper crosses a little kid up and drops him on the floor. Nikola Jokić says nice things about Victor Wembanyama again. We're going to get into some kind of what we want to see from Project Marvel and the new arena, which really does look like it's on its way. Not going to put the cart before the horse fully, but it really does look like it's on its way to the initial phases, and construction will be kind of right around the corner. But first, Tyler, the producer, I'm bringing him in early in this one. We're going to start with basketball talk, right?
Yeah.
We're going to start with stuff that is relevant to your San Antonio Spurs for the upcoming NBA season. First of all, Tyler, hello, how are you doing? And second of all, what kind of questions are we looking at today?
So Corey, our Australian compatriot, put a bunch of these together, and we liked them.
Our editorial overlord from down under.
Yeah, did we ever pick a title? I don't think we picked
No,
a title.
I just keep saying different things every single time I bring them up.
Some stuff for the new season that I think were interesting.
Word.
To start us off, Julian Champagnie had a pretty big year last year, kind of solidifying himself as a valuable role player.
Earned himself a $15 million annual deal for 3 years.
Sure did.
$5 million.
So my question for you is, who on the roster do you think is most likely to take a big leap this season? And you can't say Victor, Stephon Castle, De'Aaron Fox, or Dylan Harper.
Oh, interesting. I was kind of thinking like that De'Aaron would have been an interesting answer. I feel like people might have not seen that one coming necessarily. Maybe unless you listened to the squad show the other night, but nonetheless, I mean, it has to be Carter Bryant, right? Like it has to be. If we're talking about relative glow ups, if we're talking about relative explosions onto the scene, like it's got to be Carter Bryant, a guy who, you know, as the season went on, found his way into the rotation more and more and was literally playing meaningful playoff minutes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, those minutes dwindled a little bit as the postseason went on, but particularly in the early going, he was playing meaningful minutes in the playoffs. So I guess it has to kind of be Carter Bryant, unless you're looking at it from the perspective of like, I don't know, maybe Luke Cornett finds his footing a little more. Maybe Julian Champagnie has a whole different level that he can get to. Like, is there a side of his game where he starts to further unlock off the dribble stuff? Does he suddenly become a 45% three-point shooter instead of a 38, 39% three-point shooter? I don't know, but to me, I guess it's got to be Carter Bryant. What do you think?
So I'm hoping that honestly it's going to be Keldon Johnson. I know that Keldon was Sixth Man of the Year last year.
He was.
But I think there's a lot of room left to improve, especially in the playmaking arena for Keldon Johnson. And I would like to see his offense, as unstoppable in the regular season as some of those moves towards the cup were for him. He really struggled in the postseason with those. So I'd like to see him kind of expand that offensive game a little bit and
that's a good
continue
call.
to be a really big contributor on this team, especially once we get to the postseason.
I think that we sort of look at Keldon as like some sort of finished product. and fail to remember that he's whatever he is, 25, 26. I think he's 26.
Yeah.
But like he's still young. And that was that going through that kind of experience in the playoffs is like he's been in the league for whatever it is, 7 years now. I think. Yeah, 7 years. So sure, he's been around for a while, but he's never experienced anything like that at any point in his career so far.
That was his first playoffs run, and until you're there, it's hard to really understand how it changes when you get there.
True. Good call.
Okay, next question. Do you think now that hi, my cat who's meowing in the background, do you think that now that Dylan Harper is going to be higher up on every team's scouting report that he is likely to have some sort of sophomore slump? Whether that's like a less efficient at the rim because they're more ready for him now, or more turnovers, or just has a hard time getting to his game. You
have a menagerie in your house.
It's a whole zoo.
It's a zoo? Okay, yeah. I felt that was the case. I don't even, the thing about Dylan Harper is it's like, I'm curious. Here's what I think we're going to find out from him, because you're right. Like, teams are going to be more prepared, we all sort of think he's probably going to continue to come off the bench, especially in the early going. So, like, how are second units going to be able to game plan against him? Like, it would be one thing if he's in the starting lineup and you have your best players, your best defenders theoretically on the court whenever he's on the court. But, like, how do you factor in the fact that he's going to be going up against bench units? But, from the get-go, teams are going to be prepared for him, no question. So, to me, the answer to the question you posed is going to be what other elements of his game are going to flash. Because if teams are going to be putting a lot more defensive focus on him as a scorer, whether it's walling him off, immediately putting top defenders on him whenever he comes in the game, like just schematically how they treat him, what is his next counter going to be? Because if suddenly those, I guess that surprise factor obviously has worn off now. So if he is unable to capitalize on the attention he's getting as a scorer and increase his ability to, or flash, I should say, show off his playmaking, his facilitating, if that side of his game, which we didn't see like a ton of last season, so we saw it in bits and pieces and flashes here and there. But if there isn't, if that side of his game doesn't elevate as teams are focusing on him as a scorer, then maybe you do see somewhat of a slump. But like, it's hard to call at this point because we don't really know. I think the easy answer, or at least the answer that I just want to say right now, is like that dude is so freaking talented and only got better as the season went on, was at his best arguably in the postseason. So it feels difficult to believe that there's going to be some major sophomore slump, but if he can't elevate the passing and facilitating side of his game, then he might be in line for a little one.
Yeah, I expect Dylan to be kind of the primary offensive initiator for the second unit.
For sure.
But more than just being like, hey, go get to the rim and get buckets, like really being the one to set the table on the second unit, kind of taking that full-on backup point guard role, if that's what we want to call it.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how he adjusts, because I'm sure there's going to be more asked of him this season.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question for the segment. It is unlikely Victor Wembanyama is ever going to be an amazing screener. He just doesn't have the width, I don't think. But instead of using him, instead of using him more in the PNR pick and roll, what do you think Wemby could be as like a dribble handoff hub?
You know what? Let's get to that next segment. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Baseball fans, if you think you know who's hitting a homer today, FanDuel is giving you a free chance to call your shot with daily dingers. It's easy to play. Just make your free pick for who you think will hit a home run in their game. If you're right, You'll receive a profit boost to use on your next bet for a chance at extra winnings. Best of all, you can make a free pick every day throughout the MLB season. Daily Dingers is another fun way to stay engaged with every day's games, whether you're following your favorite team or keeping an eye on matchups across the league. Every game has someone capable of going deep. Now you get the chance to make your prediction before first pitch. Y'all know where I'm just going to go every day if I could do this. If I lived in a state where we could get on FanDuel, of course. But Yordan Alvarez, he's on my favorite team. He's chasing the Triple Crown. Homers, he's got some pressure on the homers front. He's got to hit some more, so I'm just going to ride with Yordan, your daddy. So are you ready to play your game today? Join all the action at FanDuel.com. That's FanDuel.com to play Daily Dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a homer. Play ball and swing for the fences on FanDuel, an official partner of Major League Baseball. All right, we are back. And just a reminder, if you're new here and you're enjoying the show, do us a favor, hit the subscribe button. If you've been along with us, on the ride with us, I'm scattered again, for the last 5 months or so, share with your friends who you think might enjoy this show. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We appreciate everything you all have done to support us along the way. All right, Victor Wembanyama, better in the dribble handoff or better in this straight up pick and roll? I think that because of what he offers in both, and I agree, like he'll probably get marginally better as a screener as he continues to
He's never going to be Steven Adams.
He's never going to be Steven Adams. There's no question about that. He's never going to be this giant brick wall that's going to dislodge defenders from ball handlers, his teammates as ball handlers. But he's still obviously just providing, if any sort of relief, being able to create any separation between a De'Aaron Fox, a Dylan Harper, a Steph Castle, a Devin Vassell, a Keldon, whoever's running the pick and roll with him. Any bit of dislodging he can do to benefit the ball handler will help, because he's so dangerous in a number of capacities. Number one, just in the pick and roll, his dives to the rim, they're killer. And the more separation he can create for the ball handler, the better it's going to be. And that downhill gravitational pull that he has, even when he doesn't have the ball, is massive for the entire offense. Now, the dribble handoff is interesting because, unlike a Steven Adams, he is a threat from anywhere on the floor to take the ball and dribble and attack the rim. So when you're defending a dribble handoff situation with Victor Wembanyama, you've got to be aware of both the pass, the drive, hell, even if he fakes you out, or if there's a miscommunication between the two defenders, turning around and shooting the three. Like, he is the truest form of a triple threat in that capacity. Here's the other thing. When I saw this question and when I heard this question, he's so unique with his length is so unique that if you want to jump into the dribble handoff stuff, I really wonder what sort of creative angles you can scheme into the various dribble handoff sets because of his length, where he can hold the ball. I think that it could be, as these guys become more familiar with one another, as Victor becomes a better screener. By the way, just learning the game more and more. Like, we know that he's a high IQ player, like a really high IQ player, but you can still see him learning on the fly in a lot of cases.
Absolutely.
But I don't know. I think it's going to have to be a mixture, because he is I think San Antonio, and I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion or not. I know I've mentioned it on here before, but I think a lot of the time, unless he just completely has it going, like it's just one of those nights where he can't miss, I think that the Spurs offense is more dangerous when it's the other guys who are killing defenses than when it's Victor, because of how lethal he is as a decoy, and because of all the attention you have to pay to him, that whenever the rest of the team is humming around him, like, I think that's when San Antonio is at its best, because the second you have to pay more attention to the other guys, like, that's when Victor just destroys you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think our offense is best when Victor's finding most of his points just in the flow of the defense, in the flow of the offense, I should say.
Right.
It also lets him save energy for the defensive end, which is,
True.
where we really need him.
I think that's
Need
accurate.
him all the time.
All right. So we pushed back the the outline here a little bit, but Tyler, part of the question, well, I mean, this falls right in line with the questions that we're asking, but now it's more shifting toward the arena side of things, the new arena, Project Marvel. So let me just throw it to you first. You're living on the East Coast, but San Antonio is, I mean, this is your team. This is a place you want to come visit and watch Spurs games.
Absolutely.
You spent plenty of time in San Antonio. What are you, and by the way, you're also someone who cares about the city. So
I am very much.
So what is it? What do you want to see out of Project Marvel? What do you want to see out of, I guess, not just the arena, but the surrounding area?
Yeah, I mean, in an ideal world, to me, this entire San Antonio sports and entertainment district, which is not just going to be the new arena, but it's supposed to be a whole development downtown.
Right.
I think it'd be cool to have an affordable place to live down there and be a part of downtown. And a lot of that goes into making it walkable, making it so that you can get to the arena without having to drive if you don't want to. I mean, just having a downtown is going to be such a big deal because the location where it's at now is,
it's bad.
Yeah, there's not a lot to do around it. And that's the other thing. It would be great if the arena had, local restaurants and brands to shop at, to go patronize before games or after games, and
I
hang
think
out in that area.
That's an important piece of this, because one of the promises way back then when the new arena, when the Frostbank Center went up, was that area would be developed. It really hasn't been developed at all in the what will be, I guess, about 30 years. By the time the new arena is built, it'll have been about 30 years since the arena, since the Frostbank Center went up, and the development never really came. The good news about this arena, and this is something that I want to see just from a Project Marvel perspective, is what has been promised in terms of infrastructure and everything that you just mentioned, that everyone goes through with it. I want to see that the process that they've outlined is stuck to. Yeah. And I think the good thing about the term sheet and going off of what has been put in print is that a lot, the non-binding aspect of this, the contract, in order to be fulfilled, in order for all the money to be sent in to the right people from the right people, there are certain elements that have to be done at the same time as the construction of the arena, meaning housing, restaurants, the private infrastructure, the $1.4 billion in private infrastructure. A certain portion of that has to be going simultaneously with the construction of the arena in order for this thing to be binding. So there is something legal here to fall back on, saying, okay, there are promises, you have to follow through with it, or else you might not get your money. So that's good, right? It's in the contract.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is, tourism is so big for San Antonio. The Spurs are big for San Antonio. And integrating all this stuff together kind of near where all the other attractions are in San Antonio is going to just make the tours and stuff that much better.
Yeah.
Nobody wants, I shouldn't say nobody. It's easier to go to a city and visit it if you can get around without having to drive everywhere or having to take a taxi or, whatever your mode of transportation is. And the other thing, with the arena itself.
Real quick, I'm glad that you brought that up, because I have, in recent episodes, I've brought up the $220 million infrastructure bill that I think it'll be voted on in March, I believe, that needs approval before the rest of the construction gets underway. That is specifically, hold on, I have the to set up to support the first phase of transportation and pedestrian infrastructure improvements for the sports and entertainment district around Hemisphere, aka Project Marvel. So kind of everything that you're talking about, that infrastructure bond that's going to be voted on, that must be approved before the $489 million can be dispersed from the city to fund the new arena. Again, that is what that will be taking care of. That element of infrastructure, pedestrian infrastructure, transportation, that kind of stuff. And I do want to point out from someone who messaged us on the Locked On Instagram account, Spurs Drip. And listen, this is a very helpful message that we received from Spurs Drip. I am just laughing because like when social media first became a thing, I feel like there were more actual names. And like you get this really informative, long, thoughtful message on Instagram, and it's just from someone named Spurs Drip. I wish I could give someone out there with an actual name. I don't think Spurs Drip is on the birth certificate, but I want to give them credit anyway. But they pointed out that, you know, this type of bond that is separate from Project Marvel, by the way, and they wanted to make sure that we pointed that out. I've tried to point that out, I think, but this element of city planning and city economics and all this stuff is very new to me. I'm actually really enjoying learning about all of it, but nonetheless, Spurs Drip mentioned that history has heavily favored the passage of these types of propositions. And mentioned, in fact, all 6 propositions in San Antonio in 2022, which was $1.2 billion bond program. Every proposition in that passed. And also, they mentioned that it's like the last time that, the last failure was on March 4th, 1978. These types of bonds basically always pass. So when I say that it is like kind of, I don't want to put the cart in front of the horse, yada, yada, yada. But like this thing is pretty much gonna go through. So eventually. But until then, I'm with you. I also, and I know I keep railroading you here, and I'm sorry. We're trying to pack in as much information into one segment as we possibly can. The other thing that the Spurs promised along the way that I would like to see, and I think just to kind of goes with your affordable housing type of outlook, which I think has to be part of this as well. We know that there's going to be plenty of unaffordable housing in the area, so please at least put up some affordable housing. Now, the Spurs, in the middle of all this, like last year, talked about they're going to make they made a promise to make 500 seats available for every game that would cost $25 or less. I haven't heard anything more about that, but they said that at the top of all of this. I would like to see that go through because that would be huge.
Beers that cost less than $10 would be nice too.
Good luck with that one. Good luck with that one, Tyler. Yeah. You're wishing and hoping. Wishing, what is it? Wishing on a prayer. Wishing, whatever. All right. Final segment coming up next. We got funny videos. We got Nikola Jokić. We got Steph Castle talking about NBA 2K ratings. We'll see you in a second. Alrighty, final segment of the day. Tyler, do you? By the way, for all of you who are audio only, I apologize in advance for the audio of this Nikola Jokić sound. On YouTube, our trusty producer here put subtitles up. For the audio only audience, I will do my best at the end to recap or give sort of the money quotes of this whole thing. But just really try to listen hard. Just strain your ears, which is not something we hope to tell people on a daily basis for an audio medium. But let's roll the Nikola Jokić footage. He had some nice things to say about Victor.
And for what it's worth, Jokić has said similar things to this in the past.
Yeah.
Does it feel like a rivalry for you now? Do you take it not personal, but do you take him as a special opponent? And where do you see his upside, actually?
He's definitely a special opponent, just because how unique he is as a player, as a person, So I don't see as a rivalry, but do I take it a little bit more? No, I think I play every game the same way. But Victor definitely has an opportunity to be the most unique, the most basketball player that we ever seen. So it only depends on him how well he's gonna fit, how well he's gonna work hard, how well he's gonna get to his spots, how well he's gonna treat his body well. So he definitely has an opportunity to be the best ever.
Alrighty, so he was asked basically, like, do you see this as a rivalry? Not in a bad way, not anything like that. A healthy rivalry.
Basically, do you get up for games against Victor more
Right.
than you do
Right.
for others?
And
He said no.
He said no. We have evidence to the contrary. Those
Sure.
games are super competitive when
I
they
love
play each other.
The Victor Wembanyama versus Nikola Jokić
Oh,
matchup.
It's so much fun.
They should all be national television. I don't know why
They
they're
should.
not.
Well, they might be. I mean, the Spurs are on national TV like every other game this year. So I'm sure if they don't, I mean, they got to put Jokić versus Wemby on national TV every time they play each other.
Absolutely.
Like that's
Agree.
kind of, so by the way, here is sort of the important line of the whole thing. Jokić said, Victor has the opportunity to be the most unique basketball player we've ever seen. He also said he definitely has the opportunity to be the best ever. I appreciate Jokić for continuing to answer this question or
Yeah.
some version of this question.
He does look kind of annoyed to keep getting that question. 'Cause
When he
I'm sure
at first-
everyone is at this point.
At first, when the guy's asking about is it a rivalry, Jokić is kind of looking at him, shaking his head, like in a very funny way. But I appreciate Jokić continuing to answer those questions. He's always been effusive in his praise about Victor, and that has obviously not changed. But yeah, it's asked of him a whole lot of times. All right, Tyler,
Yes.
what is next?
Next up, we got Stefan Castle talking about his 2K rating and some of the spots he disagrees with.
I like my rating. I think 87 for year 3 is pretty good to start the year. So I was happy about that. I didn't agree with the drive and dunk or the vertical. It was a couple other ones I didn't agree with. I just saw the list, but it happens. But I think it's on us to make that rating go up.
What is his drive and dunk? I think I
Okay.
just saw the overall rating.
His driving dunk rating is 88, so he feels that should be higher.
Interesting.
88's pretty high.
It's pretty high.
His vertical is 72 though. I do feel like
Doesn't
that could be
2K have? Does 2K still have? Or did they ever? Or am I just like combine pilled now? I haven't played 2K in so long, but they don't have like separate vertical for like standing jump and full, do they?
No, vertical is the
okay.
same, but they do have. So his driving dunk is 88. His standing dunk is 40.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
I gotcha. I think he might
Also-
have. I think he might have a little bit of room to expand there. 88 is really good.
I also
so-
think they might be underrating his strength at 59. To be honest,
But
he's
the-
a
but-
stocky guy.
Yeah, it's always been weird, like how you make that measurement between guards and like bigs, like the
True.
big dudes in the league. I don't
True.
know. Maybe I think you're right though. Like I seem to remember, I haven't played that game in like a decade, I swear, but I remember like the strong guards were probably like in the 60s and 70s at least. So I think he's got a bone to pick there. And not I think you have a bone to pick there. I think he might have a bone to pick with the driving dunk. Man, these guys really care about this stuff, by
They
the way.
really do.
Also, your thoughts on Dylan Harper being we're going to get to more Dylan Harper here in just a second, but your thoughts on Dylan Harper being rated higher than De'Aaron Fox. I think it's like borderline trolling. I think 2K and that weirdo Ronnie 2K, whatever, are like jumping on the De'Aaron hate bandwagon and the like really pumping up Dylan thing. And I just hope it doesn't spill over into the locker room.
That could definitely be true. Here's my thing. I did play NBA 2K for a while. I haven't played in a few years now. I might get the new one if I ever get another gaming console. We'll see.
If I ever have time to play a video game again.
But in my experience, NBA 2K ratings are one, heavily informed by recency bias, and two,
absolutely,
they're kind of BS. Like,
oh, you think? You think?
Oh yeah, I do. But
there's like always if you're just a guy, you're like automatically a 72.
Yeah.
If you're like a guy who plays, but you're really just kind of a guy, you're a 72. That's just all there is to it. All right, speaking of Dylan Harper, what do we got?
We have Dylan Harper at one of his basketball camps teaching a lesson to a young man.
All right, play it again. Let me narrate for the audio. Just send it into a loop if you can.
Unmute your mic, Matthew.
All right, we're back. Dylan Harper crossing a kid up. Kid slides on his rear. Dylan Harper steps back for three, knocks the three down. He's giving high fives to his boys. Everybody's laughing at the poor kid. Oh, man, just dropped on his rear end. Dylan had him posted up at the three-point line, did a little half spin. Kid flew backwards. He pushed him. 6'6" Dylan Harper going up against the kid is like a 3 foot tall kid. And just slides backwards. Dylan with the step back three. Everybody's having a good time.
Channeling his Michael Jordan for those of you that know the story about Michael Jordan at one of his camps. This is the kind of content I want to see. Give no quarter. I don't care.
Well, it's like there was a picture of, I think it was at like a court unveiling of Victor. There was a still shot of Victor just this kid tried to attack the rim, and Victor is just enveloping him, like 2 hands on the ball, just crushing this shot. My guy, Spurs PR, Jordan Howenstein, is in the background laughing. It's a great shot. These are the things. Like if you're trying to ball, if you're trying to hoop against these guys, don't expect them to take it easy on you. Like this is how you learn lessons along the way. Thank you all so much for making Locked On Spurs your first listen. We cover the San Antonio Spurs here every single day, at least every single weekday, okay? Remember to subscribe and follow where you get your podcast so you get all the latest episodes. You can find me on Twitter at Matthew_Tynan, and you can follow both of us over at the Corporate Knowledge Newsletter. That's MatthewTynan.substack.com. Tyler, where else can they find you?
I am over on Substack at thevideoman.substack.com and on Instagram at Tyler Prince Film, as well as running Locked On Spurs. Before we go, we are going to be doing a mailbag episode next Friday. So if you have questions, you can send them to us here on YouTube. You can go to MatthewTynan.substack.com and be a subscriber and leave a comment on the post we'll put up there. Or you can call into our voicemail box. The link is in the description.
Absolutely.
Leave us some voice questions. We'll play it on the show. We'll talk about whatever you guys want us to talk about.
And by the way, we're going to work. We were trying to set up an email account. I think we were trying to both access it, and Google basically like kicked us out. I think we might have access to it, but we're trying to set up like a permanent spot for people to be able to leave emails if they would like, so we can have a running sort of mailbag at all times. But as Tyler just told you, there is also a voicemail for that, and we've had a lot of fun with those whenever y'all call in, so please utilize. And we'll do our, the goal is for a mailbag episode next Friday, but if people are asking stuff, we might just pop mailbag questions into random episodes. Who knows? We'll try to keep it as live as we possibly can. All right. If you've had enough Spurs and you want to talk about, listen to stuff more about the NBA in general, head on over to Locked On NBA. That's wherever you get podcasts. That's their YouTube channel. There is no offseason for those guys and gals. Stay up to date on everything NBA so you can be the most informed fan in your friend group. For Tyler Prince, my name is Matthew Tynan. We'll talk to you all on Monday, and here's Victor Wembanyama.
Have a good weekend.
Appreciate y'all. See y'all. Never.